Okay, I think it's a good time to go ahead and get started. So, I want to welcome everyone to our second session. Before we dive in, just a reminder on some housekeeping items. So, you should have received the email with the recording and the slides, as well as the resource from yesterday's session. And just like that, we will be sharing the same resources after this session. So I will be sending out the recording, the slides, as well as the swipe file that I'll be kind of discussing a little bit later. So be on the lookout for that. So if you have to log off a little bit early, no worries there. But if you do have questions along the way, please make sure you submit them in the question bar. There's a little question section, Q&A section in the toolbar. We would love to address your questions live if possible. But obviously, if questions kind of come to you after the fact, you could just respond to the email that I send you, and we'll be happy to set that up, answer those questions for you. We also have some contact information we'll be sharing at the end of the webinar. So I just want to introduce myself for those of you who maybe are joining us that weren't on yesterday's session. My name is Natalie Slyman. I'm the Content Marketing Manager at Benchmark Email, and my co-host is Matt Alonzo. Matt,
Hi, everyone.
he's our US and Canada Regional Manager, and he's going to be walking you through Benchmark Email's drag and drop email editor a little bit later. So I want to just quickly chat about yesterday's session. We discussed offers and segmenting. That's essentially the first step of your holiday email campaign. It's figuring out what you want to offer and tying that to a particular holiday or, event happening this season. And then also making sure it's being sent out to the right people. So segmenting your list and making sure the right people are getting the right promotions, because that's just a great aspect of personalization that can kind of help improve your email marketing efforts. So today we're going to be discussing the next step, which is designing your campaign like a pro. So we're going to be talking about building your holiday emails in minutes. And I know that this step can be pretty daunting, but we want to reassure you that with Benchmark Email, it is very simple and very straightforward. So no design skills or development skills required. Okay, so let's dive into the agenda. We're going to discuss, planning your campaign layout. We're going to discuss picking the perfect template, personalizing with AI smart text and headlines. So the template and the AI text and headlines is something within Benchmark Email's platform. So we will be kind of showing that off to you. And then we're going to discuss using your template swipe file, which is going to be the resource I will share with you after the webinar. Okay, so email design can be a very powerful tool when used with a lot of thought. So it's basically like your subject headline. It's kind of like the first impression that you send to your subscribers. And just because a design is beautiful, it doesn't mean it has to be complicated. A lot of people think that the more well-designed an email is, the more complicated it is to actually create that email, and that is not true. In fact, studies have shown that simplifying your design, so like focusing on one visual and one CTA, can actually significantly boost your performance. And for example, emails with a single call to action have seen increases in clicks of 3 to 4 times in some cases. So what that tells us is that people don't want to read overly complicated email designs. They want something that's simple and straightforward. So we want to kind of discuss like a holiday focus. Obviously, it's that time of year. And in our first session, we discussed, pinpointing a holiday and using that as something to tie in a promotion. And the same kind of comes, that's going to be applicable with your email design as well. So some holidays that, we wanted to call out here is Small Business Saturday. So that's something that's local, personal, community driven. And that example is in the middle here with that small package. Obviously, Small Business Saturday is a very great opportunity to celebrate those small businesses in your area and to support local. And then there's Giving Tuesday that you can tie into something with Thanksgiving, obviously with heartfelt, donor-oriented or social impact imagery. And that's kind of exemplified on the email template on the left. And then there's Hanukkah, bright, celebratory, warm tone. So that's just obviously another holiday that's, maybe not as utilized. That definitely can be, if you feel like it's appropriate for your audience. Okay, so step one in this whole email design process is choosing your layout. So it may be tempting to kind of go the color route, but you want to start with structure. You want to look at your email from a structural standpoint because that is how your audience is going to digest the information. So you want to think of hierarchy before decoration. So that's a header image or logo. You obviously want your logo to be on this email and front and center or at the top, just because you want people to have that brand association. They want to make sure that you want to make sure they recognize your brand because that's going to ensure that they know who the email's from. And there's obviously you worked really hard to build trust with your audience, and that kind of ties into that. So there's the header image and logo. There's the core message and CTA. So every email should have some body copy that describes what the promotion or the event or whatever you're emailing about is about. And then the CTA is the call to action, which is probably arguably one of the most important aspects of the email layout, because you want people to you want them to do something with your email, and that is where the call to action comes into play. And then there's the footer links or social icons. So that's at the bottom of your email, and it always is good to include your social icons in case people want to follow you on social or you want to continue the message on social. Okay, so now I'm going to pass it over to Matt. He's going to walk you through building an email and Benchmark Emails email builder. He's going to cover how to add images, text, and buttons with our drag and drop editor, reordering blocks, and preview with mobile, and how mobile kind of comes into play with our builder as well. So Matt, I'm going to pass it along to you.
Thank you. Let me share my screen. One second.
No worries.
Okay. Are you all seeing my benchmark
Yeah.
account now? Okay.
Yes.
So mind you, I think an important disclaimer before I start is telling everyone that I'm not a designer, which I think is perfect for this demo because we built our platform in a way that you can create a beautiful email without having to be a master developer or knowing a lot about design. And with our holiday templates that it's even easier to do that. So when you log into your benchmark account, right here on your home page, you will have the option to create a new email, and you can do that either there, or you can also click emails here on the left and then create new email. It's the same option. If you want to, of course, you can create an email from scratch. You can totally do it. But again, we're all about simplicity and getting your email out as fast as possible. And this is why our team has already created some templates that you can use so you don't have to start from zero. If you click over here on the top on templates, you will see all of the templates our designers have created so far. And we're adding more templates each week, mainly now with the holidays. Our designers are working on that, but we already have some really good options. So if you click here on this third option, seasonal, you're able to filter the templates by category. So for this example, let's use or create a Christmas email. So I click Christmas here, and you can see that we have these three options, and you can choose whichever one you like the most. For this one, let's use this first one, and I click here on use this template. And you will see that when I do that, our system directs us to our editor, and the template is loaded there. Okay, it's right here. The good thing is, even though we created this basis for you, you can personalize this campaign as much as you want. Okay. Everything you're seeing here is totally customizable. So thinking like if I didn't know a lot what I was doing, or like I didn't have a lot of ideas on how to create my campaigns, again, coming from that space that we don't want to start things from scratch, what I did is I created this Google Doc, but I went into ChatGPT and I created a fictional company. I said, "Hey, chat, I'm an online clothing retail specialized in kids' clothes. Our brand tone is minimalistic and elegant, and we're creating a new holiday campaign. We're offering 15% off on all of our dresses and t-shirts. So create a copy for that email campaign." And you can add, of course, like the more information you add into your prompt, the better the result will be. But I want it to be very simple, very straightforward. And it basically created the text for me, and that makes our lives even easier. Like we're going to the second round of not starting from scratch because we have our design pre-built and now we have our copy pre-built and we can just customize it. So let's say I wanted to put this, okay, that the result that ChatGPT gave me into the editor. It's very simple. As you can see here, for instance, I already have a header here, and ChatGPT gave me a header. Holiday moments made beautiful. So I could just copy this. Of course, if you want to customize this, improve it, you can totally do it. But let's make it really simple, and you can see that it's here. But you can say, hey, I don't really like this font. Okay, just click on the block. You can see that as I hover my mouse over different sections of the template, it highlights that section. So if I click here, this is a text block. And when you click on it, you can edit it, either the text or all the other information I have there. So let's say, oh, I don't like this font. You have other options you can use there. To be honest, I like Montserrat, so I would probably use it. But you might want something more chill, more classic, like Helvetica. Do you have any suggestions, Natalie?
No, I was actually wondering if a brand had like a particular like font that was part of their branding, could they use that there too? Like,
That's a great question. Yes,
yeah.
so you will see here that we, of course, if you go online or even on Word, Canva, you have like thousands of different fonts. But for emails specifically, that can be troublesome because if you use a very specific font that, for instance, Windows or MacBook doesn't have it preloaded, your subscriber or your contact can have display issues when seeing that email. This is why you will see that
Okay.
it's the list is more basic because we want to have the most accepted fonts, technically speaking, so you don't have display
That makes
issues.
sense. Okay.
So what I would suggest, if you're using a very specific font for your brand, again, go to ChatGPT and you could tell them like, "Hey, I use this font for my brand. I need a similar one that is more like that is broader, more accepted for email clients." And ChatGPT can totally help you find a similar one. But what is easier to do here is personalizing the colors. You can change the color of the text right here or right here. You will see that on the left, you have all these different options for the editor for the blocks. You can increase the line height, the letter spacing. Again, everything is fully customizable. I totally recommend you to play around with this so you can see the power of our editor. What I like when I click here is that I already have all the colors that are being used on this template, so you can keep your email consistent if you want to. Okay. And you see this picture and you're like, hey, I don't really like it. Like, I want a different picture. That's fine. Just click it here. You can either upload an image from your computer. You can just add the image URL if it's publicly available. Like if it's an image in Google, you can just copy the link and add here. And one thing that our users really like, and I think it's very useful, is that we have stock photos integrated here. So if you don't have a specific image you want, but you would like to search in image stock databases, you can just type like, let's say, Christmas tree. And okay, here you go. You have hundreds, if not thousands of images you can use. And if you like one of them, you can just click on it and okay, it's right here. It's ready to go. So as easy as
Very
that.
cool.
Then you can see again that everything here is customizable. One thing that I would like to show you is the button, because as Natalie said, the CTA is very important, and we highly recommend using a button for that because it's like it's easier for the user to see
Mhm.
what action you want them to take. And ChatGPT had given me the copy for my CTA. Since we have a button here, I can just, sorry, click on it and I'm gonna select remove formatting and okay, it's here. Oh, I want to change the color again. Just click here and select the other color you would like to use. You can make it
Oh,
bigger,
cool.
smaller, like everyone like this is 100% customizable based on your
Love
needs.
it.
Another two things that I wanted to show you real quick is that you can change the color in the background. So you will see that you can just click here and I will have the option to change the background color.
Oh, cool.
Okay, that's totally different now. And you can change this is the background of the text, and on the right in green, you're seeing the background of the email. And you can also change that over here. If you wanted the same color, it could be like this. And as Natalie said, social media, again, super easy. Like, oh, I don't use Facebook. You can just click on the block, delete it, and we have other social media here. Then you can easily add, like, let's say Snapchat. You use it, you just click on it, and don't forget to add your specific profile URL. So when people
Yeah.
click, they'll go to your profile. So it's very straightforward. If you want to add more stuff, just click outside of the template and you can add new blocks like, oh, I want to add more text below this image. Okay, it's here. Just write it out. So
Awesome.
I think it's very straightforward.
Yeah.
I don't even have a lot to show because it depends
No, it's very easy.
on your ideas and what you want to
I
create with
did
it.
have one question for you though, Matt. How can our users preview it on mobile if they want to make sure like on mobile
Sure,
it's rendering right?
great question. Let me just delete this block because it's bothering me a little bit. Okay. So when you click here, I'm gonna close this. Wait a minute. I think it's on preview. Wait a minute. I had just seen this. Yeah. Oh,
You can
here.
just,
Okay,
yeah,
I
there
knew
we
it was
go.
here. When you click on a block, you can select mobile and it's here. Here is the
Oh
option
wow.
to see. As you can see, this might be too big for a cell phone. So you
Mm-hmm.
can just select this block and make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I think
Perfect.
that's good.
But see, that's why
Maybe
we have it. So that way it's like you can catch things before it goes out and you can make sure. Because I mean, we all know a lot of people view stuff on their mobile devices more than
most people.
desktop. So it's kind of
Yes.
important to, but this way though, you don't have to design a completely different campaign for mobile. Like we already do that for you, which is really nice. And then you
Exactly.
can see what it looks like to make sure it looks right before sending it out.
And I think like a lot of companies, like most of their users, as you said, will open the email in mobile. If that's the case for you, I would even recommend creating the email campaign mobile first. So like edit the template thinking as if your user were gonna see it on the mobile. And it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot easier if you make things smaller. It's definitely going to look good in the desktop. It's usually when you
Yeah.
make things too big that
Right.
it will look good on the desktop but not on mobile. So
Right.
this is my suggestion.
Okay.
Maybe you want to create it right here.
Yeah.
Great question.
Well, great. This is very intuitive and very straightforward. So I appreciate it.
Thank
Let me go
you.
ahead and share my screen. Because I'm going to walk you guys through some other. We have a swipe file, and it's so that you can swipe our ideas. But it's a very straightforward piece of material. It's like basically it's to kind of help you um, look at layout examples for promotions and flash sales, donation campaigns, seasonal newsletters. We sort of break down the basic elements of an email. So, like the header, the hero image, the body copy, the CTA, the footer, and we show you what goes there. We've really walked you through this already, but this is kind of your cheat sheet. And then, you can use this to help you brainstorm structure before you start working within our builder. But the also good thing about using Benchmark email is that our templates kind of already take that guesswork out for you. So you, again, don't have to start from scratch and put, the header and the body copy and everything together. It's already there. You just got to kind of swipe in and out things that you want and things that you don't want. So, okay, let's recap really quickly. So, in order to kind of build your email like a pro, even if you aren't a pro, which I mean, come on, who is a email design pro? Not a lot of people. First, you want to choose a clean layout. And then use templates to save you time because they will save you time. The only thing that you kind of get into trouble with templates is that sometimes, and like I'm going to sound like a nerd, I have a lot of fun with it. Like going through it and plugging and playing and like playing around can be a lot of fun. So if you need to reserve some time to just do that and figure things out, do that first. And then when you're ready to send, make sure you know kind of what you want to send out. And then let AI polish your copy. AI is your friend. I know a lot of people might claim otherwise, but it is extremely helpful when you aren't a copywriter and when you don't really know what you want to write or what you want to say, or you want to say it in a very clever way and the words aren't coming to you. Use AI. We also have smart text within our platform, and it kind of helps you, get your tone right, rephrasing, anything like that. And then when in doubt, reference the swipe file I will be sending for direction. Okay, so I want to go ahead and kind of tease our next session, which is Thursday, and that is sort of the final series or the final step within sending your holiday campaign. So it's going to kind of touch on sending and what you want to do before you hit send to kind of check and make sure everything looks good. We're going to touch on deliverability and some reporting stuff as well, because you're not done after once you hit send. You also have to see how your emails perform. You want to know if people are opening them, if they're clicking on what you want them to click on. You really want to see what is driving engagement. So that's kind of what we're going to be covering in our next session on Thursday. So I hope you all can join us then. And then I wanted to mention, I mentioned this on our first session. So we have sort of a competition going on. We want to see what your, workshop journey looks like. So we're encouraging people to post on LinkedIn about their holiday campaign creation journey. So you can snap screenshots of what you're creating in Benchmark email. You can kind of touch on some stuff we've mentioned in these sessions. Just make sure you tag Benchmark email and make sure you use the hashtag Benchmark workshops. And whoever posts the most about their experience will win a free professionally designed email template from our team. And we're going to tailor it to your brand. And it's going to be something that you can use just made just for you. So it's going to be completely unique. It's not going to be a template that already exists. So it's kind of exciting. We hope to see those hit LinkedIn soon. We would love to kind of see how your journey is going. So we obviously want to offer, help if anybody has any questions. I don't see any questions coming.
We do. I'm seeing one. Sorry, it's because I answered. I was like, wait a second, we'll get back to it. It's from Pradeep, and we really thank you for sending your question. He asked us two questions. Can we create a separate version of the hero text from mobile device? Not as of now. Like the campaign will be the same, both for desktop and mobile. The only difference is that the HTML that is working behind the editor, our system creates it in a way that it's adapted and displayed correctly depending on the device that subscriber is opening the email. So it's the same campaign, but it's going to be displayed differently based on the device. So our suggestion again is create it mobile first, because probably your users will see the email in mobile, and then of course check the desktop version or the other way around, so you can keep your email consistent. Do you have anything else to add about this, or
No, I think that's great.
okay?
And yeah, thank you for sending in your question. Obviously, if another question pops up and you guys didn't get a chance to ask it right now, like I said, you can reply to the email I'll be sending out, or you can email support@benchmarkemail.com. Our support team is the real people that are ready to answer your questions. And if you're interested in getting started for free, we have a Get Started Free link here. I will be sending this in an email as well. So you can get started on our platform totally free and check out all of our great email templates and start using them in just a matter of minutes. So thanks again, everybody, for joining us. And Matt, thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
Natalie.
yeah, we hope to see you guys on Thursday, where we're going to be kind of showing the next steps in sending and deliverability and reporting. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you next time.
Happy
Bye.
Tuesday. Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Bye.